Welcome to game number 2, everybody. My name is Mr. Llama. This is AHGL Week 4. GREE, who has the red protest player Isle Matt spawning up in the top left-hand corner, and his opponent Jehovah playing for Team Intel. They're up 1-0 right now after Blue Dragon's early win there with a 14-14. I was trying to say 14-14. I said early, so that's why I repeated that word. Anyways, something that I did not even go over in our first game because I was so busy talking about burrowed roaches and such is where is my co-caster Laughing Man, right? So he is still trying to get everything underway for this travel, basically. He's coming from Australia to America, and he's going to be moving into the Clarity Gaming House, as I've said in previous videos. And so he's trying to get his visa. He's got everything packed up, and he's like ready to leave. He's just waiting for his visa, basically, and then he can head over. And so he's like doing all of that, and he's at his mom's house, I think, right now, and she doesn't have internet, and it's just all a mess. So we were trying to like set up a time where he could be at his friend's house, and then he could bring his computer over there, and then we could cast this stuff and all the yada 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 yada. But it just wasn't quite working out this week. So I'm going to go ahead and take it solo again. But I promise you, once he gets to America and gets all set up, everything will be back to normal. We will be co-casting. So for those of you who do miss him, I do apologize. I'm trying to do my best with solo cast. I've solo casted a lot before, so I'm not too like uncomfortable with it or anything. But it's always fun to have that co-caster. Laughing Man makes me laugh. So, you know, he's my wingman right there, so I do miss him, and I'm sure you guys do as well. So PVT looks like possibly 1 racks FE at this point. Nothing too crazy from either player. No second gas, so it doesn't look like we're going for any sort of fast tech. Yeah, pretty basic at this point. Just gonna go ahead and try and lay down that command center. This probe over here will scout that it is gonna go down. And the Marines are going to run around looking at his base. Just check for a pylon. And this is a good idea, because I was playing random the other day on, I think it was on Europe, something like that. And a probe came in and just plopped a pylon down, and then he continued around along on his merry way, and I didn't even think about it. And I was just like, oh, okay, sure. And so I played the game out, and then there was a pylon in my main. And that wasn't fun. I think I still ended up winning the game, but that's because I did when I was like pushing, I went and did some sort of push and did a ton of damage while he morphed in all these zealots into my main and forced a bunch of stuff. So it made the game a lot closer than it needed to be, which I think is the big thing. So we see a assimilator coming down, and actually a Stargate here for Isle Matt. So this is not something you really see too often in PvT. Is the Stargate opener. And I mean, Heart of the Swarm, people are still testing things. It might be a little bit, or used a little bit more in PvT in Heart of the Swarm, but basically it's like, it's really tough to make things work unless you're going for like a 1 base Void Ray all in or something like that, which is still possible. I mean, you know, he's just sitting on this 1 base still. Doesn't look like he's got any intention of expanding quite yet. Throwing down a 3rd pylon now. Maybe a 4th. Nope, just a 3rd. And nothing out of the Stargate, though. Another gateway comes down. Is he going to pump out a Void Ray? He's spending all of this money, and 4-gate Stargate is underway. The only problem is he hasn't made anything with his Stargate yet. When is he going to make something? Is he going to get Oracle? Oh, see, he's going to go for an Oracle. So he's going for a 4-gate Oracle play, which is very interesting to me. I'm curious to see how exactly this is going to pan out, like what exactly he's going to be doing with this. And the SCV might get a full scout. He's going to run right into the natural. And will he go up into the main, or is he just going to chill there and see if his opponent expands any bit later? It looks like that might be his plan. Another probe underway, and we are going to see bunkers coming up left and right, because of course when you're getting 4-gated and you see no expansion, you want that bunker right there. And the Oracle is revealed as well as he runs it right over the Stalker. So poor Isle Matt, unfortunately revealing his tech, revealing his lack of expansion. And Jehovah's going to be in a pretty good position here to defend against this. Additionally, he has supply block trying to get this Void Ray out. So he's just going to have this one Oracle, but a turret's going to already be finished as that was scouted. And yeah, Iomat is definitely in a tricky position at this point. Trying to go ahead and continue to commit with this is going to be extremely tough, because there's just not much that he can really do against these two bunkers with all these Marines right here. I mean, I just don't see a lot being done. So he's going to try and get in there, kill off a few SCVs. Unable to get any, though. And now he's going to have to pull back with that Oracle. So no damage out of that. Void Ray just now popping out. And still nothing else being made out of this target, I suppose. So he's just going to have that one Void. And he might just be continuing to load up. And this is where he could actually possibly catch his opponent off guard, is if he just builds up this force more and more. And Jehovah gets a little, like, lackadaisical. And is that a proper use of that word? Possibly, possibly not. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the best way to use that word. Anyways, but he could, like, you know, start tacking a little too much, go for like double Evo or something like that. But here it doesn't matter. He's going to go ahead and push in. Will get one bunker down. Now going to focus the second one. There is a charged Void Ray up there trying to do whatever it can. And by charged, I mean prismatic alignment has been used. But not quite. The SCVs were pulled and got there in time to repair that. And so now Amat's going to have to back off yet again. He's continuing to fall behind, though, in the work count, 37 to 22. I mean, it's almost a desperate situation of you need to do damage, and you need to be able to get in there, break that down at the very least, and like force a lift off and kill SCVs. So he will be pushing up again. Is he going to halt that bunker from going down? No, so that bunker will actually finish, and that's going to be brutal. He's going to have to back off yet again. Not that he really would have been able to break in there, but, I mean, definitely would have helped. And now a second Void Ray being added in. And I'm wondering, with multiple Void Rays with this prismatic alignment, that could actually be very good against bunkers. That might be able to take him down really quickly. But there's still so many units here for Jehovah. He has not back down on the production whatsoever. He's just continuing to pump them out. And we're going to see yet another attempt right here from Iomat. He has not expanded. He's saying, you know what, I got to go for it. And going to go ahead and try and possibly charge in. No, just going in for a little quick checkup. Sees all these units right here in the double bunker still. Says, maybe I actually want to back off. And now he's going to go ahead and choose to expand, it looks like. So he's like, all right, I don't think I have a chance here of pushing in and actually killing him off at any point. So maybe if I grab an expansion, I can get him in an unfavorable position and win that way. And yes, of course, also to note, he did not have a mothership core in that fight. So let's see. He could have used Time Warp, I suppose, to slow the SCVs or something like that, as they were moving over to over to repair. I feel like that would have been the best use. And then, of course, it has its attack as well, which is just a little cannon. And he could recall back. So, yeah, those are the abilities there. Always good to just double check, because, you know, they change things in beta so quickly sometimes. Third base now being taken here for Jehovah. Pretty well saturated, even possibly oversaturated right there. Yeah, a little bit oversaturated at his natural. And yep, he could move a couple SCVs up there into the main, but either way, going to be starting his third base anyways. Going to take that, and then he can move his SCVs over there. But at this point, he's just going to go ahead and go for a big push, because you know what? Iomat's in a tough position. He just tried to go for an all-in, 4-gate, Stargate all-in, and now he's suddenly switching back into trying to be defensive and grabbing this Expo. And we'll have to see if Jehovah's really going to let this happen, or if he's just going to try and push and end the game at this point. Oracle is out on the map here. Not going to be able to still do any damage. Maybe a little bit, like right there or something. But pretty tough. Pretty tough. Might just go to the third base and try and like pick something off with it. Or just pick off like SCV's building structures, I suppose. So Natural has completed. Going to go ahead and get a nice little worker transfer over there for Iomat. More Warpins underway. Has a couple sentries with decent energy, 125 and 73. So he could get a split on this ramp if he brings his army forward. And that would probably be key. But there is so much army for Jehovah at this point. And he's got a couple Hellions here, which can turn into Hellbat since he does have that armory. And that will be useful. In the meantime, Matt trying to just pick off SCVs, but we are just going to see a giant stem from Jehovah up this main ramp. Matt's not even looking at his army. By the time he looks back, he's going to have lost half of his army. A time warp goes down over nothing. He throws it on his worker probes right there, and it looks like he's going to get absolutely slaughtered as Jehovah puts his team up 2-0. Very, very fast game right there. Nice, easy win for Jehovah. And that is going to move us into game number 3.